Good morning. I'm up bright and early with the hope of beating the rain. It's 2 a.m. and actually really nice out right now. I feel surprisingly good. I fully expected to wake up feeling like garbage, but my legs feel good. Somehow my feet feel good. And I even have already been running a little bit. I'm just on a paved road right now, leaving town. I didn't think I'd be able to run. So, yeah, I've underestimated how I feel, but I feel pretty good. The first thing I did this morning and last night was check the forecast, not just for today, but for the forecast for Yakvik, which is that's my destination tonight, and where I'll be starting from tomorrow. And tomorrow, the day starts with a 5-kilometer hike, and then there's my first water crossing. It's about 300 meters, and it's one I have to row myself. And I watched a video of someone else doing this on YouTube, and it definitely looks intimidating. Like there's a pretty strong current. I'm sure depending on the wind and conditions and stuff, but it makes me nervous to cross alone. And then to make things worse, I saw heavy rain is forecasted, and I was like, well, that doesn't seem very safe. So of course I'm like, oh, what if I can't get across, and then I'm gonna miss my next boat crossing, and then my whole plan is gonna unravel, which it could. And I'm just telling myself all you can do is keep going and then see what happens. So I'll just worry about finishing today and getting to Yakvik. Then I'll worry about the boat crossing. I did email the owner of the church hostel in Yakvik, because I heard that he's the one in charge of all the boats, like he oversees them. So I emailed him and said, hey, I'm going for this record. I'm feeling pretty nervous about this crossing tomorrow. I'm not, an experienced rower, and it's also heavy rain. Do you know of anyone that might be willing to row across with me? Like, I know that's a pretty big ask, but maybe there are other hikers that are planning to leave early, or do you have any advice for me? Because I figure it doesn't hurt to at least ask for help, because I'm nervous. Beautiful morning. The sky. It's hard to tell, but it's a little pink red. I know the phrase, red sky at night, sailor's delight. Red sky in the morning, sailors take warning. Great. All right. The rain is officially starting. You can see the clouds in the background. There's still a little bit of sky ahead, but not really. So I'm gonna put my phone in a plastic bag, and I have my rain jacket ready to pull out. I have gloves and mittens and a headband. I have hot hand warmers. I have all of the stuff in my bag double wrapped with small trash bags, little European trash bags. So we'll see how this day goes. I'm definitely, a little nervous about getting really cold, but I'm prepared. So here we go. Okay, quick update. I'm smiling because so far it's only been drizzling. You can see it's getting a little overcast. I was just thinking how it's very possible fog could roll in, and like thankfully there are these, you can see them in the background, these way markers, and they're spaced about every 25 meters, and there's also a pretty distinct path not marked, but it's just like pretty obvious because it's the only trail around. But of course, yeah, I want to kind of keep my guard up in case that happens. But it's been a very peaceful morning, a little lonely. I'm already 10.3 miles in, and I feel really focused because I'm just aware of how many miles I need to cover today. And as is the theme with this trip, you know, everything's pretty time sensitive because, again, I need to get to the next grocery store to resupply. And in the following days, I thought that was a frog. It was a rock. I have the boat timetables to worry about, but I'm not going to worry about that now. One thing at a time, one day at a time. So yeah, I'm very happy with the drizzly weather. I'm just up here on this plain. I don't know if that's what you call it, but it's just very wide open, grassy, tons of reindeer up here. Every time I see them, I just say, hey, coming through. And they always just don't seem to know what to make of me, but then they start running away. And they kind of collectively decide as a group whether they're going to run away. And I've seen a couple tents, no hikers yet, but it's still very early. I started at 2. It's now 5:06. So far, so good. Well, the rain came. It started raining pretty hard when I was down low in a forest, and being at lower elevation, it wasn't quite as cold down there, but I could tell my top was starting to get soaked through, so I threw on my jacket, and then pretty soon after went on this steep uphill climb through the forest. And then I've been walking on another exposed area, plateau, alpine zone or subalpine zone. And some of it's been pretty swampy and rough. This is kind of the first nice part I've had in a while. And right now it's just misting. So I thought I should check in. But yeah, I started to get cold, which I mentioned I was worried about. But I have the wind to my back now, which helps. And I did bust out my hot hand warmers and threw them in my gloves, so that helps. So I'm at a pretty comfortable temperature besides my hands still being warm. This jacket saved my life. I almost went with a lighter rain jacket. I mean, this one is very light. It's the Premonition UL by Mountain Hardwear, but I almost went for more of a lightweight, breathable jacket, and because it packs down even smaller than this one. But then before I left, I was like, no, Liz, it might get really cold, and don't take a more breathable jacket just because it saves a few ounces. And so at the last minute I packed this one, and it actually packs down to be quite small. It folds inside out into its own chest pocket, so I could actually fit it in my backpack pretty easily, and I keep it in the top compartment so that I can just get it out really quick, and that worked for me today. So yeah, it saved my butt. And I just noticed I still have my headlamp on, but I'm too cold to stop and sort everything, so I'm just kind of on autopilot right now. I'm at 22 miles or so for the day, so a little over a third to my way there, and I'm trying not to let myself get overwhelmed. I'm definitely better doing psychologically than I was in Virginia and even Swiss Via Alpina last year. Like, I would feel super stressed in the morning and just doubt myself and wonder, can I do it? Can I make it? And sort of the theme of this trip has been to just trust myself a little more, to have faith that I have the ability, I can do this. There's some stuff that's out of my control, but don't make preemptive decisions based on like what could happen. It's like, you know, because of course I'm worrying about getting to the store on time and making it to the boats, but all I can do is do my best to get to town as fast as I can. Then I can worry about what's after that. So, and you know, so far I'm making good time. There's a nice little, this is a little slippery. I think I might rather just hop across, but I'll get across here, then tune in a second. Yeah, I did not trust those bog boards. Usually bog boards are my friend, but bog boards that are sloped to one side are not my friend. But yeah, I haven't seen one other person out here today. It's just me. I'm the only person, I don't want to say dumb, but I'm the only person willing to be out here apparently. Alright, now I have to figure out this wide stream crossing. I'm in a new county, Norboten County, and I don't know if you noticed, but the flags are a new color. They're like hot pink. I'm into it. The ones in the last county were orange. And look at these colors. It's so vibrant. That's where I just came from. Oh, this is very cool. When I was at the tourist center in Hemavan, the guide was telling me that up in Abisko, where the trail ends, it's already autumn. Like, you're gonna start to see autumn colors, and I'm still quite a bit south of there, but to me this looks like autumn. It reminds me a little bit of a visit to Iceland. This was way back in 2013, and that was in September, but it looked really similar. And it seems like it's clearing up. I hope it stays that way. going through this very pretty birch forest. Ooh, okay. Okay, I just got through a very nasty patch of trail, just boggy, brushy, rocky, you name it. My toes, my left big toe still hurts from stubbing it. Oh, but I'm already starting to make contingency plans, because today I actually think I'm cutting it a little close to get to that grocery store in Yakvik on time. It was an ambitious goal to get there, and yeah, I think I just thought I'd be moving a little faster. So I'm just kind of thinking through options, because any decision or deviation from the plan has a domino effect on the whole trip because of the logistics and the boat crossings. So I'm considering, there's actually a grocery store in Adolfsström. Adolfsström. I don't know if it'll even be open, but I'm thinking I could at least resupply there if they are open, and then either stay there, because that'll be 44 miles for the day, and then I'll have about 20 miles to get to the rowboat crossing, which I've been planning to do tomorrow morning. And this would change the entire plan, because basically first thing tomorrow I have the rowboat crossing, which is 3 trail miles north of Yakvik, and then it's I think 9 miles, so I accounted for 3 hours or a little over to the next lake crossing where there's a boatmaster, and I asked if she could take me over at 9. Tomorrow's Friday. Yeah. And there will likely be other hikers there, so I need to check in with her once I make a plan. And then from there, this is what I think is not going to work now, regardless of what I do today. After the 9:30-ish boat crossing, there's 40 miles between there and where I hoped to end the day. It's based on how I'm feeling. I think I was hoping to make it in 10 hours, which I don't think I can do 4 miles an hour. If I did those 40 miles in 3 miles an hour, can my brain do math? 42 divided by 3 is 14. So my brain can't do math right now, but I'm guessing 13 hours, 12 hours, 13 hours. 12 times 3 is 36. 13 times 3 is 39. Okay, there. I got it. So it would probably take around 13 hours, because I'm still moving faster than 3 miles an hour. From 9 a.m., that's 10 o'clock, and that's just too late, because the boatmasters there asked me not to get there later than 10. yeah, I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but I also do need to communicate with like the people at the boat crossings. So my thinking is, if I try to finish the trail in 6 days, I think it's about 260 miles of hiking. So that would be 45 or a little less miles a day. So I'm just like, I feel like this always happens, but part of it is because I want to put my best foot forward. I want to push myself. I want to see what I can do. But also, I need to be realistic with my goals. So I'm in a bit of a daze right now, but yesterday went so great. Today is going fine. Like, it's hard. The only thing that's not good is that I'm slowing down, which is fine. I'm just moving as the trail will let me move, and I'm also listening to my body. But it might just mean I'm not going to cover as many miles a day, and that's okay. Like, I'm not going to beat myself up about it, because you never know unless you try. So now I'm just thinking, okay, now I have some information about how fast I feel comfortable moving. I think it's safe to bet I can move 3 miles an hour. So far I've been faster than that. I've been faster than that all day. So I need to make my calculations, I think, based on 3 miles an hour to be on the safe side. And anything faster is just like bonus sleep. So anyway, these are the things I'm pondering. I'm gonna just make my way to Adolfsström, see if the grocery store there is open. And if not, that's not great, because I don't think I'm gonna make it to the other grocery store in time. So we'll see. More pretty birches. Well, this is wild. A lot of ultra runners talk about hallucinating, and I don't think I've ever hallucinated while on a run, but I definitely have this thing happen where, like, when I get really tired, I'll start to see patterns in things like leaves and rocks, and they start to look like smiley faces to me. And someone told me, oh, that's hallucinating, but I was like, I don't know if that's hallucinating. But just now I saw, so I need to follow these red markings. Yeah, right in the middle there, on the trees. That means footpath. I'm not supposed to follow the red X signs unless there's also red paint around it, because the X's are for skiers, the paint is for hikers. Sometimes they share the same trail, sometimes they don't. And the trail just split off, but I saw like a flash of red and was like, oh, maybe I should check that out. But then I saw some writing on it, and I was like, oh, it says danger. Like, I swear I read the word danger, and I thought it was one of those like danger, keep out signs, or like no trespassing. So I was like, oh, well, I won't go that way. And then I was like, wait. And I turned around and was like, it's just paint on a tree. There's no text at all. That was a long-winded way of saying I may be hallucinating. I feel like I've been taking care of myself okay. Like, I've been eating and drinking, but my body and mind are behaving as if I've been at this for days. Like, I had a hard time sleeping last night. I was wired and couldn't go to sleep. And then every time I closed my eyes, wild things would happen. It was like I'd have little flashes from the day, or I'd still be on the trail, which has happened before. But I kept having this image of, like, I'm running on the trail, but then I see a rock and I trip on the rock and then freak out and wake up. Like, if I was drifting off, I do that. It's like, I think I tripped on a rock, so I was kicking my legs, and waking myself up. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think I've done so many of these things that I'm just like, oh yeah, total pro. I know what I'm getting myself into. But these little things, I mean, it's a reminder that it's still a pretty extreme thing to put your body through. And I have such high expectations for myself. And in terms of, it's day 2, I might already be changing the plan, but I'm trying to give myself grace for that, because I'm still gonna make it a long way, no matter where I stop today. It's just a matter of figuring out logistics. These forests are just very magical. The colors are so vibrant. And again, there's just a tinge of fall colors. See? Oh, some mushrooms. Yeah, I am feeling ragged, and I'm about 6 miles out from Adolfsström, and I'm positive that's where I would like to stop today. Even just doing another 6 miles, it feels like a stretch. I'm pushing myself. So yeah, this day, I thought the miles would be tough, and they are, but I just didn't anticipate the trail taking it out of me so much. It's very AT-like today, not in terms of elevation change, but it's on, or maybe even I should say long trail, because it's so boggy. There's so much mud, lots of bog boards, as you can see. So it's just been working hard to move slower. So that's just what's going on. I don't know I think there's one guest house in Adolfsström, so I'll see if they have any room, but if not, I'll just set up camp somewhere. And I'm keeping my fingers crossed they have a grocery store. Otherwise, I don't really have a plan for resupply, and that's on me. I'm kind of on the edge in terms of, bringing a smaller pack, not having as much wiggle room for extra big food carries. So, and that's okay, but it doesn't give me I don't have as much flexibility because I wanted to travel light. Again, magical forest. I love these little green wispy things. At first I thought they were ferns, but I don't know if they're just little baby pine trees or just a plant I've never seen, but they're very cute. So yeah, as you can see, slow going trail. I'm maybe a little under 4 miles away from town, and it is going to be a slow 4 miles. Civilization. This is Adolfsström.